Hello and welcome. And today is pretty much the end of the second day of November 2017. Welcome. And I'm going to talk about my strategy, one of the ones that I like the best, which is get your orders in, set it, and forget it. I bought in on Zen Cash recently, and I sold and rebought her back. I didn't sell at this top. I sold up, I think around 35, but I bought back much cheaper, and it's going back up again. This is the 400-minute time frame, which works out to almost a 7 hour. But if you do the calculations, it would work out that 400 times 18 is that of 5 days on a continuous rolling clock. So I'm going to use this as one of my time frames that I use within my regular analysis. This is also its first move that it has had within this downtrend. As I take a look at this on a longer term point of view, let's take a look at this on the daily chart. Wild move that happened on high volume in here. It did dip below the 18 average. It's going choppy up and down. And this was a large move from the October 25th low to November the 2nd. So a lot of the shakeout going on, but the price is moving pretty well. Let's take a look at this. I want probably the 3-day chart. If no, the 1 day should be everything I need. Previous resistance is where this came up to. So with the higher low in here matching this level of resistance, there could be a decent possible break above, which means realistically speaking, let's do some Fibonacci upside calculation and see if it's in line with my order, which I'm going to put up very soon because I'm going to talk about my strategy as far as get your orders in, set it, forget it until you get notification. Okay, 490,000 high and low of about it was 490 and 215. Don't need that screen. This is the screen I need. Upside target 815. Probably where I'm going to need to sell is around the 800 satoshi, and I'm going to most likely change it as I'm going to show you my orders. Again, I sold this earlier at 35. Didn't get the high. So this is what I've done. I don't know how this happened, and I've lost out on the dates on here, so let me get it back so you can actually see the dates. It's got to be a way. And these numbers are very, very small, so I'm going to explain it on an individual basis. I don't know how this happened. This is the only transfer to my account I can't explain. On June the 10th or sometime on the 9th or sometime before then, somebody deposited 1.5 into my account. I never even deposited an address, and it just came in, so I sold it. On October the 26th, I put a buy order in at 9:41 a.m. to buy 1.5% of a Bitcoin or 1.5 million Satoshi worth of ZEN at about 6 total at the price of 260,020 Satoshi. This order got filled on Halloween, October 31st, over 5 days later at 6:43 p.m. So I set the order October the 26th on the morning, and I forgot about this code. And then I got alerted at 6:43 and 43 seconds. Then at 6:44 and 42 seconds, or 58 seconds after I had sold this. So I must have been on this computer probably after dinner time because I'd be done eating probably around 6:30. And I got the notification Actually, that's when I put my sell order. Excuse me, that's when I put my sell order in at 6:44 on October 31st. Tonight, November the 2nd at 8:33 p.m., it gets executed. And I didn't notice this until just recently, but the program, the software of told me that I sold it. So 9:59 p.m., which was 20 minutes ago live time for me now, the price action was already at 28. So I figure if I sold at 35 and it's back down to 28, that's not a bad deal. I sold everything that I bought. Bought it for 1.55% of a Bitcoin. I sold it for a little over 2% of a Bitcoin. So I'm making roughly about 450,000 satoshi already. So let's do it again. Buying back a little more than I sold. I sold 5.97. I bought back 6.23. I sold it for a little over 2 million satoshi. I bought back for 1.75 million satoshi. So therefore, as far as my future orders are concerned, I placed a buy order in at 20. I did so after my last buy order filled. This was placed on Halloween at 6:45 p.m. So my order got executed to buy at 26 or 28, whatever number that was. I put another buy order in, set it, and forget it. I was never going to need to care what happened to this code until it either reached 20 or 35, because it was either I'm buying at 20 or I was selling at 35. I put a sell order in to sell. I bought 6.23, so I'm selling 4.2 at right under the 400,000 handle. And I'll sell my other two at around 750. Maybe I should increase it a little. I'll play the safe sell, which means a little bit under your required target, increasing the chances that you get it, but you realize you could get small fractions more. And it's a nice even round number. But for now, it's looking pretty good. Now, what I need to do a lot more of is look at these things against the US dollar. Even though I have absolutely no intention of trading it against the dollar. Because if you can see within this that it's got a decent sized breakout pattern, and then this could be an indication to play it against Bitcoin. Especially when I was looking at ETH earlier today against the US dollar. I mean, it's like an eye-opener. As when this thing is able to find a way to revert this trend, then getting into Ethereum might be a pretty decent idea. Although when I'm looking at this now, it's interesting because this resistance level in at about 310, which was hit twice on the left of this move, twice on the right of this move, which is also entailing support at two levels, 280 as well as shorter term around 287 or current area. Usually I'd be looking for a failed breakdown amongst here. Thus, breakdown of 273. It could be interesting, but the whole point is waiting for some sort of confirmation. Now, granted, buying on October the 13th, how would that have done? Not too good, probably. If you were able, yeah, and now my screen's going bad. Don't understand this, but if I refresh it, usually it comes in pretty good. And there we have it. I'm going to end the video now because this is all about the basic buying and selling. I mean, usually codes like OK cash is reserved for doing this for most profitability. And for what it's worth now, it's starting to go below the 18 average of lows and previous support. Failed breakout, failed move to the downside is possible. Was I looking at, how long was I looking at this without a log scale? Anyway, it doesn't really do much justice. This is not a very decent chart, but I mean, I can live without it. But with this particular chart, this is like bonus coverage, if you will. The even numbers seem to work out well. 1500 seems to be the perfect place to buy here. Yeah, 1500 if it breaks down. I mean, look at this pattern in here. But this is just like the Litecoin chart that I talked about earlier. As in, if you're just trying to enter in positions because you want to take advantage of possible sell orders, you buy at 3,000. I mean, something I might do if I put in, let's just say, yeah, buy at 3,000, maybe sell half or a quarter or 30% of it, 33%, somewhere close to 6,000. Then maybe sell another half or a quarter or third in here. I mean, I calculate some Fibonacci, but it's anywhere in these areas work pretty good, but definitely up towards this high of 18 to 20,000. And there's nothing wrong with going 30 or 40, 50, even 50,000. Nothing wrong with putting your final order in there. Because if you're talking about it down here, if market goes from, say, 8,000 down in here, you're like, oh, what would be a big move above 8,000? Oh, it could easily do better than double. Let's go 20,000. Oh, now it breaks 20,000. It could easily do better than double. That's 50,000. That's why I don't mind in a situation like this, even though I see the situation of the failed breakout, fast move lower. It's great to buy at the low end of supports, but when you're in that area and you've tested it so many times, October 15th, even here, this is pretty darn near close. October 9th, October 15th, October 20th it comes back, and now it's back again. And even this small little move down in here. A lot of support around this 3,000 low area, from 3,000 to 33. And the more often you test it, the more likely it is you take it out. And that's why you want to wait to buy lower or not even buy at all if you think this thing is over. But for me, I mean, people would have been thinking back in here how this thing is like dead. Yet buying here totally worked out. Now look at the difference buying here now. This was a situation where you had broken this key level of support. You already had a good leg lower, and you were at this key level, at least in here, when you came down to this original support July of 20 or this year, support met the April high areas. Stabilized in this 18 average, falls down lower into, of course, what's this area in here. So to say you're surprised that it breaks from there, that's what you're looking for, a significant leg lower to buy. And if you, and the bottom was 1225, do you care if you bought at 1500 or 1585 or something? No. Just like the sale order I had where I sold many basis points lower, it was still profitable. So therefore, I'm going to end this video and actually do a video under 15 minutes. That's not the 2.5-minute warning, which is why I like to do that video, because if you want to do something, it's fun to do the quick ones. And I seem to ramble on sometime, and I'm just in one of those quick thought modes now. So I'm going to end this video and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.